Bonjour! Bonjour!
No.
Time for bladder check. Check.
So it's a show?
It's a lifestyle.
It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
No, I'm sorry. Hello, hi, I'm Laura. I'm gonna watch Euphoria Season 2, Episode 7. I'm glad to be there for Euphoria later than I thought, because this morning I watched the new episode of The Walking Dead, which was late. Like, when I'm finally right on time for the new episode, they're late to release it online. So that's why I'm late to post the reaction video about The Walking Dead, and that's why I'm late to watch this episode of Euphoria. Not to post it, but to watch it. And clearly, during all of this morning, I was glad to discover the new episode of The Walking Dead. In particular, because I had a lot of things that I loved during it, like I shipped a lot, this morning. So that was great, but I'm even more glad to be there for an episode of Euphoria. I have to be honest with that. It's not the same mood, I told you about the Euphoria mood. It's something special, like each time I know that I'm gonna finish this episode by being sad, being almost depressed, but being also melancholic and so connected with the characters' emotions, that I love that, I was gonna say that pain. No, I love that Euphoria mood, which is okay, maybe not the most enjoyable thing, like maybe it's not the thing which is making you really joyful and excited about life and stuff like that. But I love that mood. I love how this show is done, also how it's written, how it's filmed. Like, I told you a lot of times about some moments which are so well filmed, so well done. Again, the episode in this season when we followed Rue like that, running away, that was the best episode of this show so far. Including the season 1, including the bonus episodes. For me, it's really like this episode 5, I think that it was that, of this season 2. It's really on the top of everything, because it represents everything which is great with this show. How it's done, how it's filmed, all of the ideas just behind how it's filmed, which are helping the story, how it's written, which is helping the lines, how they are written, but also how they are played, so well interpreted. Like, all of that episode 5 represented all of the reasons why I love Euphoria. And also the complexity of the stories, of the characters, of their deep emotions, all of the subjects which were explored. It's not so simple like, okay, Euphoria, it's a life of teenagers. No, it's so much more than that, and for all of the reasons that I just said. So clearly, I'm glad to be there for a new episode of Euphoria. We need to have Lexi's place during this episode. Like, we're talking about it since so long now, and clearly during the last episode we were close to the play, we had the rehearsal or something like that. We had that discussion between Lexi and Fez about that play, about making it or not, because Lexi finally understood that making a play in which she's making jokes, about her sister and about her sister's life, it was maybe not a good idea, at least for her sister. Thanks for that, Lexi. You know how much I love Lexi, you know how much I love the ship, Lexi and Fez together. So I'm supporting the girl Lexi, but I don't agree with her when she's saying that it's finally something that she's doing for herself, that she wants to do it and all. Like, okay, that's great, do your stuff, girl. Really, go girl, go girl. But you can't lie to yourself by pretending that you don't know the impact that it's gonna have on your sister. You know it, you understood it during the last episode. So when it's gonna happen during this one, be prepared, like, I hope that you prepared your speech, and I hope that it's not gonna be, to make more jokes at your sister, like, oh, come on, you don't have, a certain sense of humor, you don't understand how it's working. No, like, you're doing what you're doing, okay, fine, but take the responsibilities of it, Lexi. I'm gonna be really, like, I'm waiting for that moment, you know, to see how Lexi is gonna react, because again, you know how much I love her character, but my opinion about her can change with how she's gonna react to that. But again, for once, she's not a viewer. We had that about her during one of the previous episodes, the fact that she considers herself as a viewer of situations, like she's never acting. She's just, yes, seeing the stuff happening and not reacting, not acting. And we saw that, in fact, during this season, after that reveal, you know, after that she told us that, we saw that she was really not reacting, acting when people were saying stuff, doing stuff. So that's great that she has this play to prove herself. But the impacts of it on your sister, I'm really afraid of that. The impacts on other characters, you know, I mean, I don't think that she talked bad about Maddie, about other characters like that. Maybe about Rue. We know also the close relationship that she had with Rue. At some point I thought that she had feelings, you know, love feelings for Rue. Maybe it's still the case, but we'll see how it's gonna end, you know, into that play. Fez, I want Fez to see that play. But Fez, he has a lot of stuff to deal with right now, like this guy who snitched on him. I hope that Faith? I can't remember her name. I hope that she's gonna say the truth to Fez, like, really? You're living into their house? You became friends with them, no? I hope that she's gonna tell them the truth, like they need to hide, they need to do something. For sure, I don't want Fez to be arrested, and I know that he's a drug dealer, and I know that what he's doing is wrong, and I know that he has his responsibility also in how Rue is right now. But if we're not talking about Rue, if we're talking only about Fez, with his story, with his grandma and all, I think that the boy never thought that he had something else that he could do, that he never saw something else for him, another life possible, and he just wanted to take care of people, and that's the best way that he found, the easiest way also with how the situation was. I would want him to change, you know, to not be a drug dealer anymore, but I don't want that to happen because he's gonna be arrested and he's gonna be forced to change. Do you understand what I mean? I want that, you know, to come from him. Rue, during this episode, how she's gonna be? That's the main question mark, always. Maddie, she's gonna be how also, like, after what Nate did during the last episode. I'm still mad at him. So much. You can't even know. That fucking psychopath! I can't deal with him on screen anymore. The guy is insane, manipulative, fucking asshole, he's violent, he doesn't care about other people's feelings, he's just thinking about himself, about the best way to use people. Like, again, please, I don't want anyone on the comments to tell me that he did that for Jules, you know, to give her the video. No, it's just because of the fact that he didn't want anyone to have this video, like, to use it against him. He didn't want to give it back to his dad, so he gave it to Jules because he knows that Jules is not gonna release it, but maybe she's gonna hurt his dad because of that or something like that. And no matter what, he doesn't have it anymore, so no one can accuse him of anything. He did it on purpose, not for Jules, for himself. I'm so mad at him. And you know, I saw also that some people that are mixing their feelings, you know, for the character and for the actor. Not my case. I want that to be clear. Like, I'm always talking about Rue and the performance of Zendaya. I'm also talking a lot during this season about Cassie and the performance of this actress, which is really great during this season. The pain that she played, all of the emotions that she's playing during this season, it's truly insane. And I can make the difference also between Nate and the guy who is playing Nate. And yes, to be good, you know, to make me feel so bad emotions against the character, it's because of the fact that the actor is really great. But I saw that some people, they don't know how to make the difference between that. That's a little stupid if you want my opinion about it. But no matter what, just know that I'm making the difference. I hate Nate. I can see that the actor is really making an amazing performance to make me hate a character like that. Okay, I'm gonna stop this intro right now. Remember that, like usually, you have my Patreon on which you can have these episodes about Euphoria one day earlier and with an extended or 4 action part. Like for the episode 5, I put 4 action part. And still the extended action part, it's interesting for you, like it's really longer and I don't have to put the logo on the screen and stuff like that, and it's the best way to support me. Patreon, you know that I'm a little reactor in comparison of big reactors, and you know also, I think that I told you so for Euphoria also, that since 2 months now, YouTube is really an assault with me. Again, I don't know what I did wrong, like, but it's like that. I'm trying to fight it and I'm asking you to help me to fight it by liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, that kind of stuff. But I have to be honest with you also, like, if you really want to support me, it's better to do it on Patreon. And again, if you want, you can just subscribe for 1 month and then leave. Like, I can totally understand that, don't worry. And if you can't, you still have YouTube, so it's okay also. Let's go for this episode. Lexi's place. For me, it's gonna be Lexi's place. It has to. So we're gonna have the consequences of it, which are gonna be big, in my opinion, during the last episode of the season. You know that I'm not watching trailers for episodes and stuff like that to avoid spoilers. Before going on stage? What? Like the episode is gonna be built also like a play? With the opening, the development, the conclusion? When Ruth's dad died. Oh. No, she's changing right now. She's better now.
How are you feeling?
What do you think, Lexi? You just saw her doing that.
It's called Let This Darkness Be a Bell Tower by Rainer Maria Rilke.
I love that author. Letters, you know,
Quiet
to a young poet.
friends who've come so far. Feel how you're
It's one of my
breathing
favorite
makes more space
books. Like,
around you.
oh,
Let this darkness be a bell tower, and you the bell. What is it like, such intensity of pain? If the drink is bitter, turn yourself into wine.
it's a part of
The
your
meaning
play.
is- And if the world has ceased to hear you, say to the silent earth, I flow. To the rushing water, speak.
You're seeing that one? That part of your story? I'm divided, you know, about Lexi's play. I think that it's great, but I think that she's gonna hurt people also by doing that. It's also like you have no privacy after that.
She'd been doing drugs, but it wasn't until that
Jay?
day, at her dad's memorial, that I realized they were a greater comfort than I ever could be. My sister, Hallie,
Yep, that's
her
you.
best friend Marta,
Can you make it more obvious? Lexi?
Marta's best friend Luna,
Ah,
and this is life.
yeah, sad.
Not everyone's life, but our life. Wait, is this fucking play about us?
Awkward.
I keep second guessing myself and getting anxious, like if people are gonna think that it's good or bad, or if it's gonna upset people or not.
It's gonna upset them, you have to know.
They didn't even tell me I was a character in it.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely have some questions.
Mm-hmm.
Like bad questions.
Depends on the play.
My intentions are good.
You ain't got nothing to worry about.
What if
Your intentions are good, but the consequences of that, you can't control them and you can't tell that you don't know them.
But I think the most defining moment of my adolescence was when my sister went through puberty.
Hein?
I feel like a big
Yeah.
baby.
It's your mother, and she loves her character.
And all I would have to do was wait 433 days, and I'd look just like her. It smells like shit.
Lexi, calm down.
I love the theater.
You love to have the first place into your own life. Great, but you should do that into your real life.
Yo, I'm actually a little busy. I'm getting ready to go out.
Is he gonna put a microphone or something like that? Your mom is having so much fun.
Well, maybe they're still growing.
No, they're not.
Nah.
But sometimes it takes.
No, they're fully formed.
To be honest, I'm not really the kind of person who wants to be known for their body.
Oi, 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 oi. Cassie, who are you?
Of course I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be sitting in the front row, shorty. I promise you that.
A little exchange, and I fall in love.
You just said that you wanted love, but he's not there.
Myself, and I'm on stage. Do you think he's okay?
I think he's just sleeping.
It's the middle of the day.
Huh?
I think we should have Mom come pick us up.
Your dad?
Be rude. I don't want him to think that we don't trust him.
Come on, girls.
You called your mom.
Oh, we should at least try and know what's cool.
Yeah, but that shit changes all the time.
You like that?
So it makes it hard to follow.
To see your friendship?
What if we get excluded from things?
Clearly they have a budget for making all of these things.
Really? We talked and laughed for hours that night. I miss those days. It was before my dad left and Jade's dad died. It was before we grew apart and before I started doubting myself every time someone would ask me if Jade was my best friend.
Do you ever worry as you get older, you'll have less and less memories of Dad? How do you stop that from happening? You can't.
Stop worrying about that and make memories block, for eternity. It's not possible. I'm sorry. We all had that thought at some point.
I remember a couple of days before you passed away, all I would have to do is close my eyes. And we'd be together.
More than the simple words that I try to say. This is the love that I give to you. Alone.
Do you remember that moment, Cassie?
More than the simple words
You do.
you ever know. My arms got to hold you so.
Ooh, you smile a lot during this play. I was this close to cry and really you're putting Nate on screen. I'm down.
I don't think there's anything more beautiful than dedicating your life to loving someone.
Yes, he's making you like a Barbie doll.
My whole life I've always had this feeling that at any moment something horrible was about to happen.
Like face disappearing? No, not appearing. It didn't appear, so something bad happened. Hey, comment you know the truth? And you're better now. Less on drugs than you were before and all like.
No thing.
Yeah,
I'm here for a split second.
Oh, you so
I'll be right there.
Oh, that's bad. We know how impulsive it can be, Ash. Faith?
I think Jade used drugs to push away all the bad thoughts. But it did the opposite for me.
All of the bad thoughts.
All I could think about were the bad thoughts.
Oh, you were looking so good.
The things that could go wrong. The people I could lose. And the 1,000,001 reasons why I'm not good enough.
Jules and I hadn't spoken since that bullshit intervention.
She said that she loved you, that she cared about you, even if you told her all of this bullshit.
It's funny how I used to think we were meant for each other. That feels like a lifetime ago.
Liar. Jules is not into that play, right?
You want to kill yourself doing drugs? Go ahead. I'm not gonna stand in your way. Anything I want. The world's your oyster.
That's an expression. Are you trying reverse psychology?
Okay. I want to focus on Gia.
Nah.
She's been in detention 3 times in the past 2 weeks.
She did?
And every morning when I go into her room to make sure she's awake, she already up. But if you say she's fine, I'll just take your word for it.
She knows you care about your sister.
I didn't know any of that. Why would you? You only ever think about yourself.
That's not true.
If I have to choose between losing 1 daughter or 2, I'm gonna fight to save her.
It's so rough. But I think that she's telling you that not because she thinks really that, but she wants you to think that she thinks that. Do you understand